If a tree falls in the woods, there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, while that question has no bearing on your life, the question about trees and insurance does. And that's what we're going to look at on today's video. Hey folks, Jack Wingate here, and on this channel, we help individuals, families, and businesses save money on their insurance, help you understand insurance a little bit better, and let you know what's going on in the insurance industry. And today is a great topic for me because it is a question that we get all of the time. And it's simple. What happens if a tree falls on my property? Or what happens if my tree falls on my neighbor's property? Whose insurance pays? Who's at fault? We get this question all of the time. So today we're going to discuss a few different things that take place so you can have a little peace of mind. All right, so to begin with, we're going to look at how the homeowners policy, specifically the HO3 and the HE7, deal with tree removal when it is caused by a covered cause of loss. Now, the thing to remember is this. It has to damage covered property, so your house, an outbuilding, a shed, whatever, or it has to block your driveway, your means of egress, of getting in and out of your property, or it causes you to not be able to go up a handicap ramp. So if you had a handicap ramp on your property to get into your house, if the tree falls and is blocking or obstructing that, it would pay there too. So what does it pay? Well, on the HO3, if this situation occurs, again, a tree falls, whether it's your neighbor's, whether it's yours, hits your property, the insurance policy is going to pay to have the tree removed if it hits the property or blocks driveway or handicap ramp. HO3 pays up to $1,000 total with a $500 per tree limit. The HE7 doubles that amount, pays up to $2,000 total with $1,000 per limit. So you do have coverage on your homeowner's policy for tree removal if it hits and meets that certain criteria. All right. So now that we have covered what your policy is going to pick up on the tree removal in those circumstances, let's talk about the real question at hand. So let's say that my neighbor has a tree on their property. That tree falls and just falls right in the center of my house. Whose insurance is going to pay? Well, there are two different scenarios and two different outcomes for this. So again, not every situation is going to, just lend itself to this clear cut. But in general terms, here are the things that happen. So scenario one, the tree falls, damages my property. It was a good tree. There was a windstorm. We never suspected that the tree was going to fall. Maybe we thought it might, but we never notified our neighbor that, we felt that the tree was, had a potential of damaging our property. So in that situation, although it's not your fault, your home insurance is going to pick up the damages there. So your home insurance policy subject to, your deductible. So you pay for the deductible part, and then your insurance is going to pay the rest of the damages. So having said that, your insurance is going to pay the entirety of it. We've already discussed how, the limits when it comes to tree removal, but the actual damage that's done to your property will be picked up by your home insurance, even though the tree was on your neighbor's property. So you might be thinking, well, that's not right. It's not my tree. How can I, if it was my tree, I would have cut it down already so it didn't hit my house. Well, maybe that's the case, but the second scenario comes up like this. Same situation, neighbor's tree falls on my house doing damage. But this time, over the years you'd seen the tree deteriorate. You're like, this tree, thing could fall on my house. And you notify your neighbor that you fear that tree could cause harm to your property. Now, when I say notify, it's not good enough just to go over and mention it to them. We suggest sending a certified letter to your neighbor that you fear that their tree causes an imminent danger to your property. People honestly are probably a little hesitant if you have a good relationship with the neighbor, and sometimes won't do that. But trust me, you'll be glad that you did when that tree actually falls on your house. Because instead of you getting dinged for having to file a claim, you having to eat the deductible, this time it's going to fall on your neighbor's liability component of their homeowner's policy. So make sure that you notify your neighbor in writing, certified letter, and that way their insurance pays, not yours, and you're safe to keep moving on. So as a personal note here, if you do have a good relationship with your neighbor, don't just hit them with a certified letter. Have a conversation with them. See first if they'll go ahead and take the tree down. I've even had people say, I'll help them pay for having the tree taken down if that means that much. But, regardless, have a conversation first and let them know, hey, look, my insurance provider, the bad insurance agent told me to do this. You can use us. We don't care. But let them know, hey, my insurance agent told me I need to provide you with a certified letter just for insurance purposes in case something ever happens. So that's how those tree situations typically play out. When again, we get the question all the time. I actually had it a week ago. And in times where there's storming or a lot of snow, this situation comes up. It's never fun when a tree falls and does a ton of damage. And then you're like, well, whose insurance is going to pay? Well, now you've got the information, so hopefully you can act accordingly. Hey, folks, I hope this has been helpful. And until next time, we'll see you.